Good day, YouTubers. As part 5 of my review of Ontario Northland models that have been manufactured in HO, I'd like to talk about lifelike locomotives prior to the launch of the Proto 1000 and 2000 product lines. My next video will take a look at freight cars and cabooses as produced by Lifelike, as there is a bit too much content here for a single video. Now, Lifelike was best known for its train sets, especially during the 1970s and 1980s, and these offerings seemed more focused on kids and not serious hobbyists, as there was definitely not much effort put towards the accuracy and quality of the locomotives and cars. I remember seeing these train sets in my local toy stores when I was a kid, back when we not only had local toy stores, but back when they even had model train sets. It seems like they produced or had inventory of some of these popular production models for very long periods of time. I haven't been able to hammer out exact production dates for either the F7A or GP38-2 illustrated here. The F7A of this body style seems to be carried within catalogs between as early as 1980 and all the way up until 1998. The GP38 had a very similar long production period and was in catalogs between as early as 1975 all the way through to about 1996. Now, the Ontario Northland Locomotives illustrated here, I cannot find evidence of them within any of these catalogs, and assume that they were marketed or sold by Lifelike's Canadian arm and were marketed separately. If anyone out there knows anything specific here, please go ahead and share with me. Now, like many of the cab units that we have looked at previous, this model is based on the F7A and not the FP7A that Ontario Northland actually owns. Now, like my other videos, we'll compare to this Proto model here, just to provide a more direct comparison to an accurate model versus what Lifelike was producing back in the day. Now, the paint and grade of plastic used seems to have a very glossy appearance, and function of the locomotive was definitely much more along the lines of what you'd expect from a toy, and not something that would be desirable by a real hobbyist. My F7A here does not run, but the GP38 does, and I'll show you that shortly. The GP38 and F7A have similar manufacturer considerations in the fact that it's only the front truck that is powered. The back truck only has an electrical pickup on it. So taking a look at this model just in a little more detail before I move on, you can see the very orangey color of the paint, and you can see how glossy especially that dark blue is. So moving on to the GP38 now. So again, it had this very glossy paint style. And what we can compare to here is actually another Lifelike model from the early 2000s, a GP38-2, and a model that much more accurately reflects the paint and body style of an Ontario Northland GP38. So again, no dynamic brake grid, and many of the body details on this are much more accurately depicted than this model here. I'll take a closer look at that Lifelike model in a subsequent video. As discussed, the running quality of these locomotives is definitely something to be desired. They seem to run really well at an extremely high, totally unrealistic track speed. Probably something along the lines of 150 miles an hour. So with my short section of track here, I'm not able to demonstrate to you very well. If I run it any slower than that, she just comes to a halt. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me for yet another video, and I look forward to having it up soon. Thank you again.